Hi, and welcome to a vacation thrift with me. You know, the thrifting is always better when you're on holiday. This time, Blair and I are in Geelong for a week, so you know I had to check out the local op shops. So, the first op shop that we checked out was the Uniting op shop on Pakington Street, and actually, most of the op shops that we go to are on this street. Very cute little street and a very cute little op shop. I liked this one a lot. Everything was laid out really well. It was done by colour, which isn't always my favourite, but they were categorised enough and broken up into categories enough that it didn't feel overwhelming. There was also a separate plus size section, which I always appreciate. So I had a great time just wandering around and taking a look at what they had to offer today. Lots of different things in lots of different colours. And I mean, how cute are their little displays and their little mannequins? Adorable. One of the first things that I came across that I was interested in was this jacket, this maroon kind of jacket. And part of me was kind of thinking that it might be a good option for particularly kind of more outdoorsy activities like birding in the winter. And I did really like it, but Blair reminded me, as he should have, that I already have plenty of jackets. So maybe I shouldn't be picking up more, you know? Of course, we have to take a quick little look at the books, and I didn't really find a whole lot there except for the kids' version of My Place by Sally Morgan, which is one of my favourite books. So that was kind of cool, but obviously I didn't need to pick it up. So now into the change room. I just wanted to show you properly this jacket that I'd tried on. Again, it looks great, it fits me really well, but do I need more jackets? I don't really think so. Then this mesh blue floral top. Very cute. I am wearing a pink bra, so please excuse that. But otherwise, how adorable. I loved this. Then we've got this 3/4 length sleeve red lightweight knit, which I did really like, but I didn't really love the feeling of it, of the fabric itself. Then I just tried on this very, very bright pink button-up shirt that's kind of see-through. I don't really know why. It's not really my thing. Then another button up, this time a red one, which definitely is a little bit more my thing. So I ended up leaving with 2 items from this op shop. We will talk about those in a little bit. And then we were very quickly on to the next op shop. This one, immediately when we walked in, I mean, like you can see, it feels less curated, it feels less organized, it feels less nice to be in, but that doesn't necessarily equate to less nice finds, you know? So we're always willing to do a little rummaging. So I dived in, taken a little bit of a look. Here I'm in the plus size section. It's always nice when they do have a section for that. And I did actually find a couple of things that I was interested in trying on, but I quickly realized that they were all kind of falling apart. So, I mean, we wandered around for a little bit longer, but I wasn't going to be trying any of those on. So I put them back and we left empty-handed this time. Next, we were off to Vinnie's. I always love a good Vinnie's. You can't go wrong at Vinnie's usually. And I mean, I almost ran into these doors because they're not automatic, which I can't believe how used to automatic doors I have become. But anyway, once we walked in, I realized how big this Vinnie's was. This one was pretty neat and tidy too, pretty well organized. And yeah, just like one of the biggest op shops, if not the biggest, that we went to on this trip. But as I was looking through, I remember turning around to Blair and saying, I don't have high hopes here, because everything I was looking through was like Shein, mixed in with a few old things from Miller's. And that was kind of it. That was kind of the vibe here, at least on this day anyway. So there wasn't really a lot that I was interested in. I mean, you can see me really trying and rummaging through, particularly the colors that I like purples and greens. And I was walking around with a few items that I thought I might try on, but in the end, I just decided that I think I was more doing that for the sake of trying something on rather than actually really loving the items, you know? So we had a good rummage, but at least on this day, the offerings just really weren't quite what I was looking for. Of course, as always, can't miss the book section. I did have a lovely browse at the book section, but again, I didn't find anything, if you can believe it, despite how many books are here. I think being a bookseller, it does make it a little bit tricky. I feel like so many of these books I've already seen and decided I'm not interested in, or I've already bought. There was also a lot of biographies of people that I'm just not interested in the mix here. I think just a different kind of demographic and a different reader that's donating to this op shop than, you know, the kinds of books that I would be interested in, I suppose. Which happens sometimes, you know? Kind of part of the thrill of thrifting. You never know what you're going to find. Also, a big thank you and a big shout out to the lovely Blair for taking all of this footage for me. A true champion. I love it. One thing I did find was this adorable little duck with like a necklace of flowers. Oh, I just thought it was so cute. Don't know what I would do with it, but I was kind of in love with it. And that was it for our first day of thrifting. But of course, I'm back another day to try again. This time we're at the MS Community Op Shop. And this one was one of those op shops that's really lovely. Like, it's curated, almost felt like a gift shop walking into it with how it's kind of laid out and everything. Again, diving into the plus size section. I do always look at the plus size section first, but I make sure to check some of the other sections that I'm interested in too, because you never know how things are organized or if things are being put in the wrong spot. I did find this like 100% suede kind of vintage jacket, which was like a cool find, but just not really the sort of thing that I could ever see myself wearing. And then there were a handful of other things that like kind of looked interesting. I was hoping to find some more small, colourful neck scarves. I love having a few of those in my wardrobe. So that was it for our thrifting in Geelong. A little bit of a mixed bag, but don't you worry, I have plenty of things to show you. So let's head home so that we can do the haul. We are so back, baby. And obviously that means it's time for the haul. Now, I do have quite a lot of stuff here to show you, but I have to admit, I have to tell you a secret. Only 2 of these items I found in Geelong. The thrifting in Geelong just was not hitting, for me at least, and like what I'm looking for, the kind of things that I'm drawn to. I don't know if it was like the time of year, the time of day, whatever it just was not hitting. I am still happy with the 2 items that I did find, but I figured seeing as we're here and we're chatting about thrifting and I'm showing you a haul, I might as well show you some other things that I've picked up in the last couple of months at my local Savers that I haven't had a chance to show you yet. To at least kind of keep on theme with the video, I'll start with the items that I did find in Geelong. Of the 2 that I found in Geelong, I think this top is definitely my favourite. It's kind of like a mesh, one of those kind of like half see-through mesh tops. It's relatively fitted. It has like a little bit of a mock neck going on. It's originally from Witchery in a size XL. So Witchery is kind of one of those like slightly nicer fast fashion brands in Australia, just to give you an idea of what we're working with. I have another of these kind of like mesh tops that I originally got from Gorman. And I love this top, partly because I love the color so much, but I also just really like the fit on me and how it looks. Like, I think it's a great piece in my wardrobe. And so obviously this is an entirely different color, an entirely different kind of style. It's very floral, these cute little flowers all over it. But I did really like the blue as well. And yeah, I really, really like how this looked on me. And because it's long sleeved, but it's mesh, it's not too kind of like heavy weight. I just feel like these are the kinds of things that I do tend to get quite a lot of wear out of. They're very versatile here in Melbourne. This I got from the very first thrift shop we went to. Both of these items actually I got from the first thrift shop. So we kind of like started out pretty well and then it just nosedived immediately after that. Although that was the most expensive thrift shop that we did go to. So from memory, this was $14. So definitely not like bargain basement prices kind of thing. But like I've spoken about before, I'm at the point with my thrifting now that like I am much more interested in finding things that I love secondhand rather than like just trying to find a bargain for anything that just like happens to fit me or whatever. So I really like this piece and I do see myself getting a lot of wear out of it. Like as the cooler months start to roll in here in Melbourne in the not too distant future, I'm really looking forward to playing around with this. The second thing I found at that same op shop in Geelong is honestly, it's not very exciting. It's more a practical sort of piece. It's just like a long sleeve button up. It's originally from Target, but kind of a little bit older. And it's just one of those like fake suede kind of feeling tops that I have another one, a purple one. And I mean, it's not that I particularly like the feeling necessarily of the outside. It's more that I like the weight of them because they're just that little bit heavier than just like a normal cotton would be. They just kind of drape nicely. And I find these sort of things quite useful as just like very light layering options, particularly when I'm going to work, because it can get quite cold in our shop, but obviously I don't want to be working with like a big jacket on. So something like this just like helps add a little bit of warmth, a bit more comfort for me, but still is easy to move around in. It's like nice and comfortable. I can still work in, you know, essentially just a little bit of a layering option. And I really like this red color. And this was much more reasonably priced. This was just $5. So it just felt like a little bit of a no-brainer, an easy pickup for me. So that is everything that I found at Geelong. Literally, that's it. That's all Geelong had to offer me in the week that we were there, even though we went to several op shops. But anyway, now let's have a little bit of a chat about some other items that I've picked up at Savers in the last month or two. My local Savers, that is, which is just like the best Savers. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but very rarely have I ever walked in there and not found something that I just love. These are all kind of sticking with the moving into the cooler months kind of theme. So not necessarily things that I'll be wearing immediately, but I'm very much looking forward to like having in my wardrobe when it starts to cool down. This first one, honestly, it looks almost exactly like a green t-shirt that I found last year. And what can I say? I love this green. I'm obsessed with this green. This one is from Sportscraft originally. It's 100% cotton. You know how much I like cotton. This one though, is a little bit different because it's 3/4 length sleeves. This is one of those things that just felt like such a great basic and that I think will be really handy in those kind of transitional seasons when it's like a little too chilly to like be wearing a t-shirt and I just want something a little bit more covered up. So again, nothing too fancy here. Definitely like a basic, just a solid basic that I see myself getting plenty of wear out of, which I'm very happy about. I can't remember the exact prices for my Savers items, but one thing's for sure, my Savers have upped their prices recently by like a decent percentage. I want to say about 30%. Including the books. The books have jumped up a lot. I literally found a copy of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang for $10. $9.99. Excuse me? And it wasn't even like a fancy edition. It was just a paperback. It wasn't even like in pristine condition. It was just a regular old paperback. $10. Wild. Absolutely wild. Excuse me, savers. Anyway, so all that to say is that this, again, wasn't just like an absolute bargain. I want to say it was like $8 or $9, which, I mean, for a sports craft, 100% cotton, I'm more than happy to pay, but definitely not like that bargain price that I know some people are looking for. I'm still very happy about it though. This next one, I was really excited but nervous about because I loved how this light blue, but kind of like textured light blue, you know, we've kind of got some white threads, some darker blue, and like the overall look is a little bit more dynamic than just a flat color. But anyway, I just really liked how this jumper looked on me. I loved the fit. It's 100% cotton. It's really comfortable. It's originally from Gazman in a 2XL. And yeah, this was in the men's section. Always check the men's section, especially the knits, I reckon. Anyway, the reason I was a little bit nervous about this one is because it did have quite a large stain down the front. It looked like basically someone had been eating and dropped something down their front. It wasn't like terribly noticeable. Like I didn't notice it when I was first just taking it off the rack, but I definitely noticed it when I was like inspecting the garment, you know? I think the fact that, like I said, the coloring is like a little bit textured does help with like how visible stains are. I just felt pretty confident that I'd be able to get it out. Now, I'm not a whiz with stains or anything, but even when I was just kind of like scratching at it, it was kind of moving, you know? And so I just immediately got this image in my head of the previous owner who was probably some dude who like doesn't know how to do laundry properly and he just freaked out when he spilt like his noodles down his front or something, that he just like didn't even bother cleaning it properly and just donated it. Like that's the image of the person that I have in my head. Very ungenerous, but it just made me a little confident, a little maybe overly confident that I could get the stains out. But I just felt like this was a piece worth trying for. And so even though Savers was asking I think $13 for this with a stain, Savers, even though they were asking $13, I felt like it was worth giving it a try. So I brought it home and as you can see, it's pristine. Absolutely pristine. I could not be happier. And a light blue jumper is something that has actively been on my wish list for a while. It's definitely like an area in my wardrobe that has just had like a gaping hole in it for quite a while. And so I feel very happy and very lucky to have been able to invite this lovely one into my home to be a part of my wardrobe going forward. I love it. I'm so happy. Okay, next up is this lovely beauty. Again, from the men's section, of course. This one's actually a Tommy Hilfiger in an XL, and it's just a lovely kind of slightly deeper, kind of cool toned red. Very oversized on me in the best kind of way. Again, it's 100% cotton. The arms in particular are quite long on me, but I just loved how this like fit me overall that I could not pass it up. And red is a color that I love to wear, but I've really had trouble finding like the perfect red tops in particular. And when I mean tops, I mean kind of like any top. I feel like I've got a really beautiful like heavyweight wool jumper that I love, perfection. And then I've got like a red t-shirt that I love, but I don't really have anything in between, even though red is one of my favorite kind of tops to wear. And I just really like this red and this fit and this cotton. I just love everything about this. That I feel like just rolling up the arms a little bit is a concession I am more than happy to make to have this in my wardrobe. There's literally not a single thing wrong with this. It doesn't even have like pilling under the arms really or anything. I feel like this is the sort of item that has just been sitting in somebody's closet, hasn't really been worn all that much. Like it doesn't feel brand new. It feels like somebody bought it several years ago, but that they didn't really wear it, you know? And so I am very glad that whoever owned it before me identified that this jumper needed more love. And I am more than willing to be that person. And because this is 100% cotton, I just know that this is the kind of thing that I will get so much wear out of. Obviously, being February, not right now, it is just too warm. I mean, today it's like 32 degrees, but because it's cotton, even though it's not like a super lightweight knit, I'd say it's kind of like a medium weight, being cotton, being breathable, just means that it's so versatile for me in Melbourne. This is the kind of thing that besides summer, I wear pretty much the rest of the year, like autumn, winter, spring, all of it. And I just can't quite get over how good this color is. I'm so happy. This one though might be my best find. I just love this thing. I think this is technically a men's jumper as well, although I found it in the women's section. This is from the brand Scotch and Soda, which I hadn't heard of before, but I think they're a Melbourne-based brand. And Savers was asking $20. $20 for this. And at first I just like couldn't quite believe it, but then I looked this brand up and yeah, I understood why. Before I went through all of that though, I did just try it on. I wanted to make sure that I liked how it looked and fit, and I did. I loved how this looked on me. It's kind of like this navy blue, and I don't know if you can see, but it's also got speckles of kind of more like a royal blue throughout it, just here and there, just enough to add a little bit of dimension and a bit of interest without it becoming like a pattern in and of itself, you know? This is a viscose and wool blend. I don't really know all that much about like fabrics, like the technicality of all of that. All I know is that it's like a little bit more scratchy than cotton is, but because this is like a proper jumper, this is the kind of thing that I would be wanting to wear an undershirt like underneath, like a layer underneath. And it's still relatively soft. Like I'm being very picky when I say it's like a 2 out of 10 scratchy, you know what I mean? It's the kind of scratchy that you only notice when it's actually on you. Like when you're touching it, it just feels really soft. But like I said, I just really do see myself wearing this over something else just because of the kind of jumper that it is, because it's kind of like heavier weight. It's more of like an actual jumper rather than, I know I kind of wear jumpers as tops. This feels like a proper jumper to me, if that makes sense. But I just loved how it fit me. I just thought it looked so good, and I love the color too. I love how it's like this really lovely basic navy, but with like the hints of this royal blue, just really take it to a place that I really appreciate. And although I do have one lightweight navy knit, I don't have any kind of blue or deep blue or navy jumpers. Although I suppose I have a light blue one now too. So this definitely felt like it could be something new for me, and I just loved it so much. I could not pass it up. So there we have it. That's my Geelong plus a little bit extra thrift haul. I hope you enjoyed taking a sneak peek at some of the secondhand offerings in Geelong, and also just a moment to appreciate some of the great finds that I've had in the last month or two. I feel like so often when I'm doing thrifting, I end up with color palettes. Like sometimes it's like purples and pinks. Today it is clearly like reds and blues. Although I suppose somewhere in here there is the green as well. I love all of these pieces so much I don't think I can choose a favorite, but I would love to hear in the comments below which one you liked the most. And if you have any thoughts regarding like how I might style these when it starts to get a little bit cooler, definitely let me know. I'm all ears. A big thank you as always to my lovely patrons over on Patreon, and especially big thank you goes to Olivia and Lynette Brown. And thank you for watching. I will see you next week with another video. Until then, so much love and happy thrifting. Bye.